to give these a try for yourself. So hopefully at the end of the class, you will feel inspired, and should you need any help, we're here to help. Okay, so let's look. Those of you that are on Facebook, you'll be able to see my screen share. I'm sharing the Natural Solutions flyer, the handout that doTERRA provided to us, which is the class that I'm going to be going through with you today. Those of you on Instagram, you've just got me, but I've logged you back in on Instagram because the connection was bad. So welcome if you're just joining now. Please say hi. So the problem these days, here we go. So people these days are living unwell and seem to be just resolved to the fact that that's how it's going to be. People have got used to living that way and used to living their lives lukewarm. And the sad thing is that people are desperate, but they don't really know where to go or what to do about this. Chronic disease is everywhere. And we're seeing a huge overuse of certain medications. People are living their lives shorter. This is the sad thing. Life expectancy has actually fallen. In the last 100 years, we've seen a steady increase in the life expectancy, but this has now stopped. And for the first time ever in just over a century, health has started to actually deteriorate. And it's said that today's children will live shorter lives than their parents. That's terrible. And it's said that they'll die earlier, many of them because of obesity. Now, we also know that certain diseases are very, very prevalent. For example, 1 in 3 of us is going to develop cancer in our lifetimes, 1 in 3. But the good thing is, let's not make this all doom and gloom. The good thing is that people are waking up. Okay, people are waking up to realizing that we need to do something about this, and we need to actually look at the whole picture and the whole wellness lifestyle. And that is what we are introducing you to here today. We're looking at the whole picture, okay? We can't just wait for these things to catch up with us. We need to do something about this on a day-to-day basis. And it doesn't have to be hard. It's not scary. You can literally just do it step by step. And it's a lovely thing and a lovely journey to go on. And most definitely adds more bliss and more wellness to your life, okay? So I'm going to compare now the modern approach to the doTERRA approach. You can see this if you're on Facebook. So with the modern approach, it's designed really to be managing the symptoms, okay? But we know if, for example, you have a skin condition, you might be able to treat the skin condition with some cream, and that might help for a short time, but ultimately you need to be getting to the root cause, otherwise that issue will probably come back. What is causing the issue in the first place? These are the questions that we need to ask. And doTERRA, the oils work synergistically at a cellular level for the entire body. So that's what's happening here. Now, standard modern medicine is often made from isolated synthetic agents. However, obviously with doTERRA, our essential oils are pure and from plants. Now, standard medicine often comes with side effects, which are known and also unknown. The biggest cause of disease, one of the biggest causes of disease in the United States, we have heart disease and we have cancer. And then the third is actually medication itself, okay? So those of us that are relying on medication and think that it's always the best option, it's not. Actually, it can be very, very dangerous, and it does have side effects. You just need to read the package inserts to check this out for yourself. So with plants as medicine, the side effects are very small, if any. Okay. Yeah, so essential oils are working systemically with the entire body, physically and also emotionally, okay? And what they are is they contain biologically active compounds. So those of you on Facebook, you can see a bottle of wild orange over there on the right. So wild orange is an oil. Obviously, it can contribute to our physical and our emotional health. So on a physical level, it's going to support our cellular health, it's going to support our digestive health, and it's going to help with our immunity. It contains powerful antimicrobial properties. On an emotional level, wild orange is a very interesting oil because it's uplifting to the mood, yet it's also relaxing. It contains what's called anxiolytic properties. So this is going to be a great oil for somebody who suffers with anxiety because it induces relaxation. And my goodness me, since I've been working with doTERRA, I am shocked at how many people live their life feeling anxious or suffering with anxiety. And then this is often the times when people are desperate and reaching for certain medication that is not necessarily the best choice for them. Antidepressants are getting handed out like lollipops these days, and that's not always easy to then come off. Okay, but the great thing here is that this is not a competition between the modern approach and doTERRA's approach. Okay, doTERRA's mission is actually to bring together healthcare professionals of traditional and alternative medicine, to merge these two together and to encourage the further study and application of therapeutic grade essential oils into modern day healthcare practices. And the exciting thing is we are seeing it happening. So doTERRA is predominantly, it's a science-based company. It's comprised with doctors and scientists and chemists. And even on my team alone, we have doctors working with us and chemists and nurses, pharmacologists. It's really exciting. And also we are seeing a huge amount of growing research and understanding into the ways that essential oils work within the human body, within the pathways of the human body. So if you're interested in this side of things, do me a favor, look up PubMed. It's a scientific journal, and you can just type in essential oils. I think to date there's over 17,500 pieces of research on essential oils. Okay, so anybody that doesn't think there's any science in essential oils, I would encourage you to go and look on PubMed because it's quite mind-blowing. You can even just go onto the main doTERRA website and look up the science blog. And again, you'll be able to find an amazing amount of research for you. And also the other thing that is really exciting is those of you that are in doTERRA world, you will know that we have 3 clinics starting next year. They are called Prime Meridian clinics, okay? And in these clinics, we are going to be seeing professional doctors prescribing essential oils and also standard Western medicine. But often they will, I'm sure, be reaching for the natural plant-based solutions first. And they're going to be looking at the whole wellness picture of their patients, okay? And it's not going to be quick appointments where you're not really giving the patient what they need. This is so exciting, guys. You know, we are seeing a change and a movement. And we also know over here in Europe that these Prime Meridian clinics are going to begin over here. And we have one that is in the stages of beginning. We don't know where it's going to be yet. How amazing if it was going to be in London, but just the fact that it's happening is exciting. Okay, so now those of you that don't really understand what essential oils are, I'm just going to go into this briefly because I must admit, when I started using the oils, I didn't really fully understand what they were and what they did and how they work. So essential oils are obviously from plants, from different types of the plant, depending on which oil we're talking about. You can see if you're on Facebook, a picture of a peppermint leaf. And what happens is you will find the oil sac underneath the peppermint leaf. So it's kind of pretty cool. But they come from the different types of the plant, depending on which oil you're talking about. It might be the seed or the stem or the root or the bark or the petal. Now, obviously, plants have been used as medicine since the beginning of time. This is nothing new, guys. Plants have been used for their medicinal qualities for thousands of years. And here's an interesting point for you. So in today's day and age, they estimate that there is around about 500,000 different species of plants in the world. But they've only tested around 10,000 of these for their healing capacity. And the main reason why they've done this is just because of old wives' tales. They've only explored them for that reason. So 10,000 out of 500,000, that to me says there's probably a lot more healing. Perhaps there's healing for everything that we can find in nature if we just do the research. So essential oils are very, very concentrated. You can see on Facebook, there's a picture of a cup. Now, 1 drop of peppermint essential oil is considered to be the equivalent of around 28 cups of peppermint tea. So that's really, really powerful and concentrated. We do need to respect these oils, and we do need to use them properly because they're powerful, okay? So we can't just say, okay, these are natural and just be really kind of slapdash with them and not use them safely. We do need to respect them. They need to be kept out of the reach of children. And we don't need to overuse them either or use too much, but it's really simple to use them. As I said, if you have a book, if you can read the A to Z and you have somebody guiding you, it's simple. You can do this very, very easily and very, very effectively. Okay, but the exciting thing about the fact that they are so concentrated is that actually less can sometimes be way more. So all you need is often 1 drop for your head tension, 1 drop for your digestive discomfort. And 1 drop is often going to be far cheaper than 1 pill or 1 whatever you might take over the counter. In fact, 1 drop may probably cost you less than driving to the doctors in your petrol, in gas for your car. And if you're somebody that's getting ill regularly, then 1 drop is going to cost less than having time off work. If your children are getting ill regularly, then 1 drop is going to cost less than having time off work regularly because you have to look after them. So if cost is an issue for you guys, then my opinion is that you really need these oils in your life even more because they bring so much value. Okay, so now I want to talk a little bit about the doTERRA difference because this is a big deal here, okay? So 80% of essential oils these days are sadly adulterated or contaminated. 80%, that is shocking. So you can buy a bottle of essential oil over the counter in your local health shop, and you can think you're doing something really beautiful and safe and natural and you're choosing better, but ultimately you really don't know what you're getting because this is an unregulated industry, guys. You know, there's no regulation here. So if 80 to 90% of essential oils are adulterated or contaminated, then chances are you are not getting what you think you are getting. And the independent third-party tests have come back showing certain bottles of essential oil that claim to be pure and natural on the bottle as containing sometimes as low as 2 or 3% of the oil that they say that they are. Sometimes these tests have come back showing that they contain 0% of the oil that they say they are. And obviously that's rubbish. You know, when you're spending your money on something, you're hoping that you're getting what you're paying for, but often you're not. And we know that essential oils work in the entire body, okay? So you really don't want synthetics or chemicals or pesticides getting into your oils. If you're buying an oil that says pure, you don't want most of it to be diluted, so you're getting very little of the essential oil that you're expecting. And then if it's not being tested properly, you don't want traces of mold or fungus to be growing in your bottles of essential oils. So unfortunately, even with some organic oils, if they're not having to do these tests and the third-party tests, and they're not sharing that information with you, you can't guarantee that traces of mold or fungus or even pesticides from neighboring fields have got in there and contaminated the essential oil. And this is the problem these days. So doTERRA realized this and they decided that they wanted to create the world's purest essential oils so you could really guarantee the transparency of what you were spending your money on, that the oils were going to be safe and that the oils were going to work. You know, let's face it, we want them to work, right? If they're heavily diluted, they're probably not going to work that much. So doTERRA created what's called CPTG. Okay, and this stands for Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. So I'm going to talk firstly about the purity. So obviously I mentioned a little bit about the testing is really, really key. doTERRA does more tests than any other company that I have ever witnessed. And this is why I think largely we are the largest essential oil company in the world, is because the standard is so high. We do more testing than any other company that I'm aware of. And this testing is extremely rigorous with state-of-the-art equipment. And this is what other companies can't do, because often it costs them more money and actually won't do. So you really can guarantee that what you have in your bottle is pure. I'm going to encourage you to look up a website called Source2You, www.source2You, if you'd like to learn more about the purity of our oils. What you can also do on this website, which again is just so transparent, is on the bottom of every single bottle of essential oil from doTERRA, there's a lot number. And you can type this in on that website and it will bring up the GCMS testing, which is the purity testing. You know, I'm not aware of any other company that is being this transparent. And there's an amazing independent testing company called APRC, which is the Aromatic Plant Research Center. It's independent of doTERRA. And recently I attended the global convention in Salt Lake City, and the head of APRC stood on the stage and said, actually, we believe the doTERRA oils to be the best quality oils that you can find. You know, it's there, the proof is there. And you don't need to be an expert once you actually just take the lids off and smell them and start experiencing them yourselves. So the purity is really, really important. But the other thing that is really, really important as well is the potency, okay, and the chemical constituents of the oil and how it's put together. And this can affect how well it works within the body, of course. So doTERRA are very, very strict and selective about the plants that they are using. And it would make life much easier for doTERRA if they were buying in from supply chains or, you know, growing in the greenhouses, things like that. But they choose not to do this. They actually choose to source their oils from all over the world where the plant is growing in its natural indigenous habitat. So if you imagine that the immune system of a plant that is thriving in its natural habitat is going to be totally different from a plant that's grown in a greenhouse or on a windowsill. And as the essential oils are actually the immune system of the plant, this is what we're then tapping into. Okay, and this is, I think, why you can smell the difference in the oil, because you can smell the energy. So we're taking everything into consideration by doing this. It's called co-impact sourcing, which we're looking at the soil, we're looking at the altitude, the region, the climate, the time of day that we're harvesting the plant at. And then we're making sure that distilleries are close by so we can get the plant to the distillery for the distill or to create the oil if it's with cold pressing. So we're really capturing the essence and the medicine of the plant, okay? So you have the purity, but also you have the potency. That is really, really important. But also then what comes with this, because we are sourcing globally from over 55 different countries, we are able to help to raise economies and to raise communities, which actually was one of doTERRA's main initial missions in the whole first place, was to give back, was to help others. And recently at the doTERRA convention in Salt Lake in the US, we had a guest speaker. We had Hugh Jackman come on stage, and I loved hearing from him. And he actually does a very similar thing. He has his own coffee bean company, and he sources from communities to help raise these communities, to provide them with work and with incomes. And one of the things that he said on the stage, which stayed with me, is that good businesses are good for everybody that's involved, not just for the people at the top. It helps everybody. And this is doTERRA's main mission. And Hugh Jackman said, I believe in doTERRA you have a very good company, because we are able to raise economies. We are able to help people, to provide for their families, to provide them with reliable income and help them to earn more money than they've earned before. In the frankincense industry, for example, they're earning 10 times more than they've previously earned. We're cutting out the middlemen. We're working directly with the people that are doing the work. And it's really exciting. And not only that, we're supporting independent organizations that are doing some really good work around the world as well. Organizations that provide mentoring programs for teenagers so that they can train and gain qualifications in so they can, you know, have jobs and work and have run their own businesses, things like that. Plumbing, engineering, you know, learning to be an electrician. So we're supporting organizations that are doing this to help people get started. We're supporting organizations like Days for Girls, which teaches women and young girls about their bodies and how to respect their bodies on a monthly basis, how to understand the fertility cycle, and providing them with reusable sanitary equipment as well. I mean, I'm really proud to associate with a company that partners with such other amazing companies. And then Operation Underground Railroad, it's helping to save children and youths from the sex trade. This is massive, and again, an amazing organization to support. So I know it's really important these days for a lot of people that they are supporting an integral, ethical company. And in my mind, I've never known a company like doTERRA. It still blows me away when I attend events or convention and I watch some of the videos of the work that we are doing globally. And this isn't just a small marketing campaign. This is a big deal. It really touches my heart, and I'm really proud of this side of things. And I really want to teach my boys to be good men and to give back and to help people. And that's why I do the work that I do. I would do this work even if I wasn't paid for it, because I feel that passionately about it. Okay, so hopefully you've got a bit of a feel about the company there and you understand the difference in the doTERRA oils, because this is really key. So let's quickly go through how you can use the essential oils. So there's 3 ways you can use our essential oils: aromatically, topically, and internally. If you're watching on Facebook, you can see on the screen examples of these different ways. So aromatically, means you need to breathe it in, okay? It's going to open the airways. It can help to purify the air, especially helpful at this time of the year with all the germs around. If you're diffusing an oil, the doTERRA diffusers are great because they're made of really quality ingredients which aren't going to denature with the pure essential oils. And you can even just be smelling the oil from your hands or from the bottle. The important thing with using an essential oil aromatically is that you need to smell it. Those aromatic molecules need to travel up your nose. They need to reach the olfactory nerve and the mucous membranes at the back of the nose and send direct chemistry to the limbic part of your brain, which is your emotional seat. It's where your emotions lie, and it needs to be interacting that way. When you inhale an essential oil, 10% of that chemistry actually reaches your brain. And the rest of it we inhale via the lungs, and it passes through the lungs, through the villi, into the blood system, and then penetrates throughout the whole body. So again, we need pure oils. We don't want impure oils going to meet our brains. Okay, so an example here is peppermint. When you're inhaling peppermint, it's going to help you to stay alert. It can also promote feelings of clear breathing and opening of the airways. It can really help to energize you before or after a workout. So peppermint's an amazing oil, and you can use it in many different ways to cool the body, for head tension, for digestive support. Obviously, we saw that 1 drop is equivalent to around 28 cups of peppermint tea, so you'd have to drink a lot of tea to get the benefits of the 1 drop. And it's very refreshing. It's beautiful food flavoring as well. So that's aromatic use. So topical use, this means we need to be applying it to the skin. So I've just recently completed a safety course with the Tisserand Institute, and I feel quite passionately that we should always dilute essential oils when we apply them to the skin, certainly when we are beginning or starting out. Now, what I also encourage is that we tune into our bodies and we listen to what our bodies are telling us, because we all have our own different chemistry, right? So what we need to make sure is that we're listening. If an oil is a little bit too hot for us, or we have a certain sensitivity, then that will just tell us that perhaps we need to dilute a bit further, or perhaps that oil's not a good oil for us to choose from. Luckily, there are many others to choose from. Hi, guys. Hi, Libby. Now, I suggest diluting with our fractionated coconut oil from doTERRA because this is tested to the same CPTG standard. It's nice and light, so it's not going to kind of interact with your clothing, make it go greasy. And it's also unscented, so therefore you can make sure it smells the way that you want it to smell. Bottoms of the feet are a good place to be applying the essential oils because we're less sensitive there. But I would certainly suggest dilution, especially if you're using on a regular basis, because the oils are really concentrated. And if you're using them regularly and not diluting them, one day your body could just say this is too much, and then you might not be able to use it again, and that would be a shame. And dilution doesn't always mean that it's working any less effectively. Actually, sometimes it's working more effectively because it's not evaporating or flashing off, and it's holding it on location. So certainly if you're wanting an oil to work in a specific location, then dilution is actually more effective because it's going to hold it there. Okay, but it is very much about listening into your body. There are some oils that are more gentle than others, that some people do apply neat. But then, you know, for me, I would always suggest beginning by following the guidelines and the resources that are provided for us and learning as you go and tuning in. So Deep Blue is an oil that's suggested here. You can apply this. So this is an oil, it's got a different top there, you can see. So we wouldn't internalize this oil. It's mainly designed to be used topically. So you could apply this to your body pre or post workout. It's got some very soothing, calming oils. So it's a great oil for kind of pain in the body to apply to muscles. It supports inflammation in the body. It's a great oil that I would use if I had rheumatoid conditions. And I like to use it if I'm suffering with menstrual cramps. And a lot of people will use this one for serious head tension when they feel something coming on and they don't want it to progress on the temples, on the back of the neck. So that's topically. Internally, this is the third way that you can use our oils, which is really exciting. And this has been used for oils have been used internally for thousands of years, but again, we need to do this properly, and we should not be doing this with an oil that we can't trust. So I would not suggest using any other brand of essential oils internally, because as I explained before, you can't really guarantee what's in there. With our doTERRA oils, you can. So you could be, I drink my oils in water. The citrus oils are known to be very safe. And also they're so refreshing, but they contain some amazing qualities as well. They're full of a component called D-limonene, which is very supportive of the digestive system. It is also very supportive for our cellular health. And also citrus oils are very uplifting and energizing. It makes your water taste great too, especially at this time of the year, I think, when sometimes we forget to drink water because we're not always feeling that thirsty because it's not hot, but we do need to make sure that we are consuming enough water every day to stay well. We need to be consuming at least 2 liters of water to be hydrated. So I love having the citrus oils in my home, and I really kind of swap them around every day. I use different oils every day in my water. I've got certain favorites at the moment: tangerine, green mandarin, I just adore. Lemon is always very popular. So some people like to put a drop under their tongue in the morning, perhaps for some cellular health capacities, or add a drop to their tea. You would let the water cool down a little bit first before you add your oil in, so again, it doesn't evaporate. And you can be adding the oils to exciting recipes, and I love this. So you can create your own masterpieces with the oils. So smoothies and salad dressings, raw chocolates. There's so many things you can do with the oils, and it really just adds vibrancy and flavor and therapeutic benefit to your food as well. The other thing you can do is you can take oils in a veggie cap. Okay, so you can get these little veggie caps from doTERRA, and you would put 1 to 2 drops of suggested oils in there, following your guidelines, and then top up with a little bit of olive oil, perhaps to help to disperse and dilute that oil, and take it internally. And you can be doing this a couple of times a day when you're unwell, and then perhaps you won't need to be taking any other type of medication a couple of times a day because, well, I need to share this with you guys. We've had the essential oils in our homes for 3.5 years in our home, like me, my family. And we haven't had to use any form of medication in that time. And I don't believe that to be a coincidence. We all use the oils daily and they work. Okay, so it's about living life empowered, okay? And I love this. So we don't go, with doTERRA, we're a wellness company. So we don't go around preaching that, hey, these oils cure or they heal or they treat you. And it doesn't matter what you eat or the rest of your lifestyle choices. Use these, you'll be fine. Of course not. You have to take into consideration the whole lifestyle picture. If you're eating a really bad diet and drinking a lot of alcohol and smoking and not doing any exercise and are really stressed, the oils are probably not going to help you that much, sadly. They might help a little bit, but you're probably still going to be unwell. So it's about addressing the whole picture. But what I love about doTERRA is there are products that you can very simply bring into your homes to upgrade some of the products that you spend your money on anyway, and know that you're using a better quality product that is actually good for the body. So things like toothpaste and shampoos and conditioners. You can see a picture here of the On Guard foaming hand wash, which I love. My children love it. It foams. We all love foam, right? But it has an immune boosting capacity that doesn't interfere with our gut flora. You have lots of different consumables that you spend your money on anyway that you can be purchasing via doTERRA. And hey, it's great because that way you don't even have to go shopping with for them. So I love connecting people with this lifestyle. And actually, I realized the other day I don't buy any consumables now over the shop counter. I purchase mine from doTERRA, from my account. I get rewarded for doing so. And they arrive to my door, and I know I'm supporting communities all over the world when I do this. So that's always going to be a better choice for me. So things like, yeah, all of your consumables, your nutrition. So I'm going to just focus in here on these 3 bottles. If you're on Facebook, you can see these are what's called the Lifelong Vitality Pack. And I do like to tell people about this kit. So I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Okay, so I would like to ask you now to think about, you can write it down if you've got a pen, or just literally hold that thought in your mind. What are your health priorities? And our health does need to be our priority because nobody else is going to make it a priority. So what are your top health priorities? Okay. What do you want to feel less of in your life? And what do you want to feel more of in your life? Think of 3 of each and write them down, or write them down in your mind. And we're going to come back to that because there will be solutions for you within doTERRA for everything. And it's just about discovering these simple solutions. So now I'm going to quickly talk you through some of the oils that are featured in the Natural Solutions kit very, very quickly. A wide range of different oils that you can use for many different reasons. And those of you that have the 10 core oils, some of these are in here, and there are some extra added oils as well that you might like to learn about. So we have the Air, which used to be called Breathe. It's a respiratory blend. So this is a product that you might like to apply to your children's chest, diluted of course with some carrier oil. This would be an alternative to a sort of petroleum based product that your parents might have used on you that you can buy over the counter. Yeah, sadly it's petroleum, it's paraffin, it's petrol, so it's a neurotoxin that our body can't process. So it's funny, it makes me laugh that we don't question these things, and yet we smother them all over our children and they've got petrol in them. So this is a great alternative because it's totally natural, but it really opens the airways and helps us to breathe better. And I love the Air blend as well on an emotional level. If I'm just feeling a little bit anxious, if my children are running in different directions, for example, in Sainsbury's, which happens a lot, they've got lots of energy, my boys, I just breathe in my Air diffuser. I've got these lovely diffuser necklaces that you can buy, and I really feel that just calms me down and helps me to come back to the present moment, which is important. We live our lives busy, right? We're always focusing on the future or on the past and not living in the present moment. And even just breathing deep without essential oils is going to make you feel better if you just stop and breathe. So I love how essential oils help us to connect with our breath and with the present. So yeah, this is a great oil that I like to use to breathe deep. It's also really supportive in the diffuser if anybody's congested, or blocked stuffy noses, things like that. I like to use this one in the spring because I suffer with allergies. It really opens the airways. And then I use my lemon, lavender and peppermint, which are known as the allergy trio as well. Zengest used to be known as Digest Zen. So this is the digestive blend. So it contains peppermint, it contains ginger, fennel, it contains cardamom, ravensara, lots of very soothing oils for the digestive tract. So any digestive issues from kind of up here with acidity or, issues with digesting your food up here, trying to speak compliantly, all the way down to the bottom regions of our digestive tract. So this would be an oil that you could have a drop in some water and drink. When I was my last pregnancy, I was getting quite acidic, especially at nighttime. So I would have a drop in some water when that happened, and it was always instantly soothing. And then this is an oil that will support things like gas, flatulence, constipation, diarrhea, kind of brings the body back to the balance that it needs. It's a very powerful oil. People often notice a difference instantly when using this oil. Mummies are finding that applying this diluted, obviously with young babies, you're going to dilute quite heavily. So with babies and children, I would be suggesting 1 to 2 drops in 1 to 2 tablespoons of carrier oil, depending on their age. So with newborn babies, I would be suggesting 1 drop in 2 tablespoons of carrier oil. So you really don't need very much. And then just doing a gentle tummy massage in a clockwise motion around the tummy button, and that's very, very soothing, and it gives that lovely bonding experience. Massage and touch is extremely powerful in itself. My sister, she suffers with ulcerative colitis. She takes Zengest every day, and there have been some other amazing testimonials with people with more serious digestive issues and gut issues. So this is a fantastic oil. You can also obviously drink it and apply it topically. With the children, we don't suggest internalization, so applying topically is going to be best with children. It's still going to get into their bodies. Past tense is the tension blend. It's my new favorite. I found it too strong when I first started using doTERRA, but now I love it. Just a little bit. It comes in a rollerball, but it's quite strong, so you need to be careful not to kind of get it in your eyes. My husband manages to get essential oils in his eyes all the time. I don't know how or why, but he does. So if that was to happen, don't panic. It will sting, but you would just wipe out with a carrier oil, not water, because oils and water don't mix that well. So you would wipe out with a carrier oil. But past tense, man, it's awesome. If you're feeling tense or you've got some head tension, you could be applying it to your temples, to the back of the neck. I like to just apply it to my wrists. It contains peppermint, wintergreen, frankincense, some very, very soothing tension relieving oils. Melaleuca is tea tree, lots of anti-properties, very cleansing to the body, so for the gut and for the skin, but also very cleansing for your countertops. So I create all of my own cleaning products in the home with the oils, which is far nicer. Then you're not breathing in the chemicals. The air in our home is predicted to be 200 times more toxic than the air outside. There's research on this. So how lovely to be able to bring in essential oils and use those instead, and yet know that they have antimicrobial properties, antiviral properties, antibacterial properties, disinfectant properties, and antiseptic properties. So I create my own kitchen cleaners with glass bottles, which are much nicer for the environment. And those of you that follow me on Instagram or on Facebook, I did a little video yesterday where I made a little sanitizer to spray around the bathroom. So you can log on and see that. But literally, even just log on to the main doTERRA website and you'll be able to find lots of beautiful recipes to make your own cleaning products for your homes. So Melaleuca, also Melaleuca is a great oil for skin. So any dodgy things on your feet, on your toenails, things like that, it's going to help to purify and cleanse. Lavender, all things calming. It's a widely used essential oil, but you remember how I said that you don't have to be an expert to notice the difference in the quality of the essential oils? Well, I am inviting you to be organoleptic testers. This is one of the testing methods. It's just simply smelling and observing the look of the essential oil and experiencing it. So you guys, I'd invite you to be organoleptic testers with the lavender oil, because you will smell the difference. A lot of lavender oils in the past I found actually gave me a headache. They have a kind of vinegary, synthetic, slightly granny smell. This really, really doesn't. So I was lucky enough to visit Bulgaria a few years ago and watch how we sourced the lavender, and then go to the distillery and see how it's created. And then we were able to take a bottle home with us from that distill. I treasure that forever. But there's not much of it left, although, but I'll treasure that moment forever. But yes, our lavender is very different. So if you remember, I told you that the essential oils are the immune system of the plant. We source our oils very specifically. So our lavender comes from Bulgaria. Also, the French Alps is a very popular place for us to source our lavender from, because of the altitude. So if you imagine that the immune system of a lavender plant that is grown at altitude needs to be really strong, because it needs to give off a powerful aroma to attract the bees up the mountain to pollinate, to keep it alive, to reproduce. So the immune system of a lavender plant that's grown in that way is going to be totally different from a lavender plant that's grown in a greenhouse. And a lot of the brands that you will recognize in the UK, certainly, I know that they are growing in greenhouses in the UK. It's different. So lavender is very soothing for the emotions, a great oil to be using before bedtime to help everybody and support us with our restful sleep. I like to get the diffuser going when my children are bathing, and that's just filling the room and the atmosphere with the aromatic compound. So we're then going to be breathing it in and calming us all down because of its powerful sedative properties within the body. Soles of the feet, I love applying essential oils to the soles of my feet and then getting into bed, because it just kind of permeates underneath the covers and it's really relaxing. So also I've had people with chronic sleep issues find incredible relief with a drop in some water before bed. It's also very calming and soothing to the skin. So any itchy or flaky or irritated skin issues like that, then you might want to be looking at using lavender and melaleuca together, because the lavender is very calming and healing and the melaleuca is cleansing. And so you might want to be adding lavender and melaleuca if you've got itchy skin or conditions like that. And also, our skin is our body's largest organ, so we do need to, what manifests on the skin is often comes from the gut, so we do need to be addressing the gut health as well. So Serenity is a blend. We're moving into the mood management oils now. So the top 10 core oils that some of you may have contain your 6 single oils and your 4 blends. And then within this natural solutions kit, there are some of the mood management oils, 4 beautiful, beautiful blends. So within the mood management kit, you've got Serenity, which is the restful blend. You've got Elevation, which is to uplift. It's the joyful blend. You've got Citrus Bliss, which contains 7 of the citrus oils and vanilla. And then you've got Balance, which is my all-time favorite. Balance contains tree oils for grounding and florals for uplift. And it's known as the grounding blend. So that's going to be a great oil for anxiety. But here we're talking about Serenity. So this again is going to promote relaxation, decrease stress levels, help with sleep, and lessen feelings of tension. If you haven't had a Serenity bath, I would suggest you try this. You're going to want to add the oil to some carrier oil before you add it into the bath, or you might like to use Epsom salts. So when I use Epsom salts in the bath, I will get my cup of Epsom salts, and then I will mix some of my essential oil in carrier oil. Then I'll add that to the Epsom salts and then add the whole thing to the bath water. And then you can guarantee that the essential oil is being dispersed properly in the bath water and it's not just kind of floating on the surface so much, because what it will do is it will cling to your body and that can cause irritation. So you do need to be careful of that as well with adding essential oils to the bath water, especially the more caustic oils. Aroma Touch is the massage blend. So I like to take that one with me when I go for my monthly massage, which is an important part of my work. I believe We all need a little bit of self-love and self-care to help us to be better at what we do and help us to look after our people better as well. Fractionated coconut oil is the doTERRA carrier oil that I mentioned that we suggest. There's a picture of it up in the up above. There it is, number 8. We know that it's tested to the same CPTG standard. It's light and it's unscented. Frankincense, the king, my goodness me. So this is an oil, we say if in doubt, go for the frankincense. It contains amazing properties. It's very rejuvenating and soothing to the skin because it's known to be a cellular regenerator. It's grounding because it's the tree oils. Our frankincense oil actually contains the resins of 4 different frankincense trees combined for their qualities and also for consistency. Now, frankincense is actually a very prized and precious oil. A lot of essential oils on the market these days are sadly fragrance oils. So our oils are not fragrance oils. They are therapeutic grade oils. They're more of a medicinal type of an oil. So they are more expensive and worth every penny, may I add. Just look at people's testimonials to see that for yourselves. But I love that frankincense, for example, is included in most of the starter kits because that's going to help people to get the oils in their lives to begin with for cheaper. So frankincense is explored for its cellular health capacity. And as I said, just go onto PubMed, that scientific journal that I told you about, type in frankincense and bring up the thousands of articles of scientific research there for you to see and validate this for yourself, because you'll be quite amazed. It's quite mind-blowing. So I like to take frankincense every day for its cellular support. I also like to apply it to my skin because it's really smoothing it out, and it's a cellular health regenerator for the skin, so you can feel radiant by morning. So I would be applying a drop or 2 of frankincense to a night oil or a carrier oil or my night lotion, and then applying that to the skin, and it's going to be very grounding and meditating and meditative and calming, but also it's going to get to work as we sleep on the skin. It's an oil that a lot of yogis and meditators will use because it's got, if you're into energetic healing and energies, then it's got a very high energetic frequency. Essential oils have the highest energetic frequency on the planet, interestingly. So frankincense also helps to support the inflammatory response within the body. It's a great oil for young babies and children, right through to the elderly. I love this oil. Lemon oil in my water most days, detoxifying, cleansing, supports cellular health as well, purifying. It's also an oil that I add to my cleaning products. My cleaner actually makes her own, which is lovely. So I know she's not breathing in chemicals. And we know it's an antimicrobial, so it kills the germs as well. You can make lovely desserts with lemon oil, chocolates, your own chocolates, and yeah, uplifting to the mood and the emotions as well. So I'm going to come back now to the Lifelong Vitality Pack. I'm going to come back to your top health priorities, because often when people have filled in their top 3 things that they want to feel more of and top 3 things that they want to feel less of, I am coming back to this kit. So this is a kit that I believe everybody should be taking every day. This is a kit that I take, my husband takes, most of our doTERRA customers take, and notice a significant difference. It's actually doTERRA's #1 best-selling product. It's a kit that most of my doTERRA team take as well, and we're really all very passionate about people starting on this. I've seen people really change things by taking this kit. So you would think, as I said, that the essential oils are doTERRA's #1 best-selling product, but actually it's not. It's the Lifelong Vitality Pack. Now, I must admit that when I started with doTERRA, I didn't really believe in the supplements. I kind of didn't think I needed supplements because I eat a really good diet, and I thought I was a bit better than having to externally take supplements. However, now I know, I admit I was wrong. I've done my research and I've worked with the nutritionists within my team and within doTERRA, and I know that most of us now will need to supplement because we are simply not getting the nutrition that we used to get from our food. I read an interesting study recently that compared the nutrition in an apple to the nutrition in an apple in the 1950s, and we would have to consume 26 apples these days to get the iron content in one apple of the 1950s. Have you noticed that what used to be the suggested 5 a day is now pushed up to 10 a day, actually, by the NHS? That's because the food does not contain what it used to. Mainly it's because the soil is overworked, we're not crop rotating, regardless of whether we eat organic or not. Obviously, then there's pesticides to take into consideration. But even when we're eating organic, sometimes we're not eating seasonally. Our food is often shipped in. It's not fresh. It's often picked before it's been allowed to ripen. So it doesn't contain the enzymes that our bodies need to break it down. So ultimately, most of us are living with some deficiencies in our diet. So this kit is about filling the gaps there that you simply don't get from your diet. So you have 3 bottles. You have the Microplex VMZ, which is your whole food multivitamin and mineral supplements. It's going to boost immune function, and it's just products that you simply don't eat on a day-to-day basis. It's really top quality, expensive ingredients, actually. Then you have the Alpha CRS, which is powerful antioxidants in there. It's also your cellular health and your energy and your vitality, because it supports the mitochondria within the cells. Okay, so it's going to support your body with stress management and also with detoxification as well, to eliminate some of the buildup of the things that we want to get rid of. And then you also have your Zeomega, which is your omega oils, which research tells us now that we do need to supplement with our omegas. So you've got your fatty acids, and also you have 9 essential oils that our bodies need for antioxidants and also for inflammatory response within the body. But also this is really interesting science that's been explored here, because remember that essential oils can penetrate the cells, okay? This is why they are such an exciting form of natural medicine, because the research shows us that standard medicine cannot penetrate cells. So when people go to the doctors, usually the doctors on my team tell me, usually when most people come to see them, they have a virus. Well, viruses live within cells, and standard Western meds is mainly water-based, so it can't penetrate cells. So we can take antibiotics if we have a bacterial infection, and that can help, but obviously overuse of antibiotics is not good. We know that now, and we're seeing lots of antibiotic resistance. They're not working so well anymore, and it interferes with our gut health. But also, you know, when we're using essential oils, we can also target bacterial infections and viruses which live within cells, because essential oils are fat-based and cells are fat-based. And I have a great video that I often like to share with people, which actually shows you in a petri dish what's happening with Melaleuca and oregano on a cell. And you can see the Melaleuca breaking down the biofilm and the jelly on the outside of the shell, which allows the oregano in to kill the bacteria. It's really crazy exciting. So your Zeomega, because it's got the essential oils, can help to draw in the nutrition and the benefits to the cells, the energy to the cells, etc., etc. So this is doTERRA's #1 best-selling product, and it actually even offers a 30-day back money guarantee. So if you don't feel better in 30 days, you can get your money back. That says so much. And as I say, I've seen people really turn their health around with this kit in many different ways. So if somebody comes to me and they have something more chronic, for example, then I will definitely be going back to the nutrition. And I will also be adding the Terrazyme, which I'll just scroll down. You can see Terrazyme down here in the Natural Solutions kit on the right-hand side. It's a white and green bottle. Terrazyme. These are the digestive enzymes. So I'm somebody who suffers with allergies in the spring. And I sometimes, if I'm a bit run down, I can get some eczema. So I know I need to look after my gut. So I take every day the Lifelong Vitality Pack, the Terrazyme. I take an enzyme with every meal, and I'm drinking lemon in my water every day. And that for me is your core foundation of wellness that I like to suggest most people to get started with. And then we build other products and oils on top, depending on people's in particular health goals. So I do like to always come back to those 3. So yeah, and then there are lovely regimes and habits that we can help you along with. And it really is just about changing your daily regime slowly, not being overwhelmed, just doing it bit by bit, and day by day upgrading. And obviously when you have an account, you can slowly upgrade the products in your home to better, and they get delivered as well. So it's about choosing what is best for you, because we all obviously have our own different health needs and our own different budgets as well. And what we like to do is really just kind of guide you through this and make the best choices to help you to get started in any way. So I'm going to go through some of the most popular kits now. So with doTERRA, you can buy retail, but you are going to be spending 25% more, and you're not going to get the same support. So for that reason, we never suggest people to buy retail, and not many people do. Most people will have a wholesale membership, a bit like a Costco card, and then they use that to get their 25% off. So you could just purchase a wholesale membership at it's £24, including VAT plus postage, £4. And then you get 25% off, and you get access to all the perks. However, most people tend to start with an enrollment kit, because that wholesale membership is included for free. So it's much better value. Plus, the oils work out as being much cheaper within a kit than buying them separately. So I'm going to go through some of the most popular kits. Now, there are very large kits. Sometimes people who are interested in starting the business begin with larger kits. You don't have to. If you're interested in starting the business, you can start with as little as the Home Essentials kit, but it's there for larger savings. But I'm just going to go through some of the most popular customer kits. So the Family Essentials and Beadlets kit. So this is your 10 core oils that have been put together. They're very versatile, and you will use every single one of them in daily life. So it's like your natural toolkit. And it includes the 2 bottles of beadlets, your On Guard beadlets and your peppermint beadlets, which are like little mini caviar. They're a quarter of a drop. So your peppermint beadlets kind of like a natural tic tac, very freshening of the breath, great burst of energy, opening your airways. Your On Guard beadlets are sort of protective support, so you can pop one in your hand for sanitation, or if my children are unwell, because these contain a quarter of a drop, I'm happy to give them one of these to boost their immunity, keep them well. And then you have the 10 core oils there that can be used in all manner of ways. Now, this kit's great, but it does have the 5 ml bottles. So for that reason, a lot of people come to me and say, actually, I wish I'd gone for the Home Essentials kit. And the Home Essentials kit is the most popular kit. So this is the same 10 core oils, but in the 15 milliliter bottles, apart from the deep blue, which is always 5 ml. So you've got the 10 core oils in the 15 milliliter bottles. So 3 times as much oil, plus a diffuser for free. But it's not 3 times the price, it's actually just double the price. So that is a very popular kit. Now, also this month, there's an amazing offer where if you do any orders of over 200 PV, and you might be wondering what PV means, that actually stands for product volume. Okay, so anybody that has an account, you'll recognize that every product has its own product volume. It's because doTERRA is all over the world, so it's like doTERRA currency basically, but it's a bit like dollars. So any orders of over 200 PV this month, you will get a free car diffuser and 3 free 5 ml citrus oils, kumquat, clementine and red mandarin. They are beautiful. So pretty amazing if you suffer with road rage. It's going to help you have happy driving. And obviously you can use those oils in water as well. Okay, so Instagram, we've got 1 minute left. Okay, so if you don't quite catch the end of the class, you might want to hop over onto Facebook, onto the Blooming and Glowing Facebook page to catch the last bit. So yeah, that's a great kit, and it contains those free oils. Now we've also got a great offer this month that doTERRA are offering called the Gift of Giving. And that means if you have an account already and you introduce somebody to the oils and they get started with an order of over 100, then doTERRA will give you 50 points. Remember, points are a bit like dollars, so it's about £35 for free to your account, and you can buy whatever you want with it. And it'll give the same to your person that you introduced. So it's a bit like if you have, a vegetable box delivery and they give you the little coupons and you can give those out to your friends and then they get free stuff and so do you. It's a bit like that. It's really nice. And that's just this month. So if you need some help introducing somebody and how to do that, go back to the person that's looking after you. And this is the best kit in my opinion, right now, the Natural Solutions kit, this is the kit for somebody who is really serious about wanting to upgrade their life and get rid of some of the products in their homes that is not good for them and not serving them, and replace them with better. So you've got the nutritional supplements, but then you've got loads of the oils, you've got the core oils and some of the emotional oils. And then you've got some of the products to replace in your home, like the cleaning range, the On Guard range, shampoo and conditioner, the coconut oil to dilute. By Instagram, we're going to lose you in a minute. So remember, hop over onto Blooming and Glowing on Facebook if you want to catch the last bit. Deep Blue Rub, which is the deep blue oil, but it's in a rub. So it's great for kind of spreading out over the body for massage or for any pain in the body, or before or after exercise. You've got the Lumo diffuser, which is a slightly better quality diffuser. It changes color. It's really nice. You've got a box. You've got the Correct X ointment, which is great for skin healing. And you've got the Air Stick, which is a great kind of vapor stick to apply to chests. And you've got probiotics in there as well. Past tense roller, loads of On Guard products, the toothpaste, the foaming hand wash. So in my opinion, this is a really good value kit because you make better savings. So this kit, not including VAT, is $467. If you guys want to look up the prices including VAT, just Google doTERRA price list including VAT UK, and it will come up and you'll be able to compare. Or you can ask the person that's helping you. And on this Natural Solutions kit as well, you can get 100 points back. So next month, if you do an order to replace some oils or buy something new of over 100, then you're going to get 100 points back to kind of cover it for free. So super cool. Now, I'm not going to tell you too much about the loyalty reward point scheme, but this is a way that doTERRA rewards you if you buy regularly through your account. So I love this because obviously when you go shopping, you don't often get the same rewards over the counter. But we'll cover this at a wellness consultation. So when you sign up and you have an account with doTERRA, you also get us. You get our community and our team and our guidance. So we'll sit down with you online or on the phone to talk you through your oils, make sure you feel confident with using them and understanding them. We're going to give you some resources to really help you with this journey, log you onto some closed groups for our communities. You're going to get so much community and guidance and support, testimonials from other people of what they've done and what they've used and what's helped them. So there's so much value within the oil purchase, the initial oil purchase. You're not just going to get something, buy it and put it away in your cupboard and never use it again. It's about embracing this and feeling confident to jump into this lifestyle. So in doTERRA, there are 3 types of person. 80% of people, it might even be 90% of people, are just customers within doTERRA. We are definitely a product-led business. We lead with the product for sure because our product's amazing and it changes people's lives. So you can see here the Live Guide. You can download this from the main doTERRA website. And this is about using, it's going to help you bring the products into your home, form routines and regimes and habits, and give you some inspiration. So most people are just customers within doTERRA, but then what often happens is once people start using the oils, they often end up sharing them without realizing with other people. And so if this is you, you might be interested in hosting a class. That's really nice because then it's bringing the people that you care about together to teach them and educate them and help them with their health needs and goals. But it's also really relaxed and informal and natural. And it also means that we can kind of really target in on their individual health needs. So if you're interested in doing this, all you need to do is gather about 10 people together and supply a water jug, and we will come to you and do the rest. If you're interested in that, speak to the person who's been looking after you and we can get you started. We can, book a date in at least and help you prepare for it. And then obviously there is the opportunity as well to learn more about what I do. And I'm very blessed to have an amazing team of women and men who have felt very aligned with this vision and wanted to to start sharing the oils and changing other people's lives. And as well as being very passionate about the oils, I'm also incredibly passionate about the business because it's massively changed our life, massively changed our home life. My husband, Tim, he was very stuck in his work in the theatre. We both used to be actors. And now, because of doTERRA, he has been able to leave. He now doesn't have to go to work every evening to pay the bills because that's what we needed him to do. We have much more time together as a family, and he has an opportunity to fulfill his main ambitions and dreams because we can afford for him to do that. Our children now go to a Steiner school because we can afford to send them there, which was only ever a dream of mine. We have amazing family holidays, and doTERRA is a really family-based business. So a lot of the time when we're on our business trips, we do it as a family, which I love. So for anybody that is in a place in their lives where they're looking at doing something else or adding something else into the work that they do already on the side, then there is something in doTERRA for everybody. It might be that you just want to cover having the cost of the oils in your lives for free and share the oils, just so you can do that. It might be that you want to supplement your income by, say, £200 to £500 a month, and you can do that. Or it might be that you end up totally replacing your income and actually really changing things in a way that you never dreamed could be possible. And that is what's happened to us. And I love connecting women and men with these dreams, with their dreams. And our potential is limitless when we set our heart and soul on something and we follow our dreams. And it's an amazing business to be part of. So if that's you and you're thinking about, this is landing somewhere with you, or sparks of excitement or curiosity are starting to happen in your belly, then get in touch with myself or with the person who's guiding you. Oh, I'm just going to turn that off. Someone's calling me. Get in touch with the person who's calling you, and they'll be able to tell you how it works. We actually recorded a webinar a couple of weeks ago, and we'd be more than happy to send you that. And it just sort of explains a bit more about how the business side of doTERRA works, if that's for you, if you're interested. So